Right. So I'm Soumili and my co-author is Tiyasha. We are postgraduate students. We have completed our post-graduation last year, and the paper is titled Together with Us, Re-establishing the Boundaries of Auto-ethnography. So just a moment. Yeah. Betsy Local's usage of the self as data relied on using memory and lived experiences to understand social structures and gender. We will be using ourselves as data to map our autobiographical selves vis-a-vis conducting research and interviews with queer identifying interlocutors. What can be termed as opportunistic research will provide insights into how two young women from the global south create dialogues between themselves while conducting research. The dialogues will be reflecting upon the dynamics between the researchers themselves, since they are partnered to reveal the underlying power structure in a seemingly egalitarian relationship. The paper also challenges the Eurocentric bias of ethnographic research. A butch lesbian and a femme presenting bisexual woman use autoethnography to shift their marginal voices to the center. While globalization does not erase cultural markers, a global gay identity takes on the westernized understanding of sexuality. Thus, reflecting on our positionality as independent queer researchers, we attempt to decolonize autoethnography by reflecting on our interactions on the field and with each other. Relying on memory, the paper will reflect on as many interactions as we can recall. The interactions are not to be generalized, rather, it provides an insight into the social structures of a post decriminalized India.
I commute to my partner's place, who is also my co-author, a few times to do what we call research. Soumili's mother has many acquaintances and remarkably, she can transform their lives into a niche topic of research. A set of urban middle-class women experiencing insecurity in their familial and marital lives, some bereaved, others in troubled relationships or anxious about their children's future, have sought solace in divinity, and we are set to question them about their newly embraced online divine figure. Auntie a friend of Soumili's mother, has consented to be a respondent. The location, mostly my partner's house, is where we are interviewing Auntie A. At this point, I am well acclimated and at ease with the location she refers to as home. I possess a piece of paper with a series of questions designed by Soumili for Auntie A. Soumili has known her for a lifetime, but I am encountering her for the first time. After a brief exchange of greetings and hesitation, I gather all my extroverted will to start asking her the questions only to find that she doesn't understand English. Having a better proficiency at Bengali than my co-author, I quickly start translating the questions to Bengali, assisted by Auntie whenever we got lost in translations. A short yet momentous interview activated in me negotiations with the sense of belonging. Belonging to a place primal to my partner and a person familiar to her. In such early situations of our interviews, Soumili always pushed me to pose questions to the respondents to infuse in me a sense of confidence.
Tiyasha experienced belonging in a quite dissimilar way. Talking to two women in their later years about their dating lives might seem quite intriguing to South Asians. Remarriage in South Asian communities reek of societal disapproval and displeasure. So does talking about queer rights and women's sexual liberation. Being able to talk to my mother about her newfound dating life forged a sense of relief. I use the term relief since I have been walking over eggshells ever since I have partnered with someone of the same sex. Women's second class citizenship is well documented within the Indian cultural ethos. This makes queer women all the more susceptible to vulnerability. I reflect upon this specifically since I reckoned that our disadvantaged status would lead to solidarity. The minority in group solidarity is based on people's perceptions of the commonalities they share. Thus, it is likely that groups who have been facing discrimination, in this case, heterosexual women and queer women might be able to forge some sort of solidarity amongst themselves. I felt relieved that my queer relationship also has a possibility of being accepted by these very women who have to hide their relationships due to societal stigma. While Auntie A was central to Tiyasha's experience, I couldn't be more objective towards her. Creating just enough rapport to make her feel comfortable during the interview was of utmost priority. While the primary motive for our interviews were to highlight dating among elderly users of dating applications, the interviews became a site of contestations between a mother and a daughter in the background. When mothers are expected to mold their daughters into the gender binary, here I was trying to fit into her mold despite being a homosexual. While daughters are taught to forge relationships with the heterosexual other and internalize femininity, I found myself in a homosexual relationship identifying as a butch. Thus, the interview was not only offered an inroad to possibly reduce the strain on the mother daughter relationship that started to turn sour due to nonconformity.
Unlike the dynamics of our physical interviews, the virtual interviews are of a different framework altogether. Taking charge by approaching our mutual favorite independent filmmaker, Debolina Majumdar, for an interview, my partner is again ready with a set of questions. However, this time I am hesitant to ask the question because I am starstruck. Additionally, my tendency to be laid back leaves me feeling unprepared to engage in conversation with the filmmaker. Left with no other options, Soumili proceeds with the interview while I set my eyes on the small frame of the screen showing Majumdar, unable to grasp the surreality of the moment. I shift my focus every now and then to Soumili's window to catch any change of facial expressions or if she's attempting to communicate anything to me. I also keep a check on my phone to see if she needs me to intervene at some point, an extra measure taken to compensate for my previous lackadaisical behavior. After the end of the conversation, we both indulge in an hour-long conversation, minutely dissecting every word Majumdar spoke and every action of hers we witnessed.
A queer person who looked like me. She had short hair, wore clothes like me, and was a filmmaker. It looked like she had checked on my boxes. I was officially a fan. I wasn't hesitant to ask questions. Was it because of my positionality as an insider? My insider status was unchallenged since she resembled me on quite a few fronts. However, despite how similar we looked, she proceeded with the interview with apprehension. It wasn't until the last leg of the interview when she revealed how a previous interviewer from our university had been insensitive towards her, causing the said disquiet. While I thought of myself as an insider, her apprehension made me realize the fleeting nature of my position. Tiyasha and I, while striving to traverse through the lanes and bylanes of Indian academia, tried to queer our conversations with interlocutors and ourselves by reflecting on every interview we took. The precarity of queer identities in Indian academia laid bare the need for intervention in the methodological domain where researchers' identity often go unnoticed. Thank you.